What's up, gang? Thank you for tuning in to episode 1. The wait is over. It's finally here. I am the Young Bull.
And I'm the OG. You already know the first episode is finally here. We sorry for the wait, but we gonna make it worth y'all while. As y'all can see, we geared up and ready to go. NFL is gonna be the topic for the day today. The draft is upon us. We're 2 days away from the draft as we sit here recording this episode right now. So there's a lot of excitement around the NFL. We're going to get into some draft topics. We're going to get into some regular season, off-season topics. And, we're going to have some good debates, some good energy, and have some fun. My guy, Young Bull, you ready to get it started?
Let's get it.
All right. We're going to jump right in. So with the NFL draft, like I said, right around the corner, there's always a lot of talk about who's the best players, who should go first, second, third. But every year, the best player doesn't necessarily go first, and the best player isn't always a quarterback. So the first topic I want us to get in today is, who do you think is going to have the best NFL career coming out of this draft? Why do you think they're going to have the best career? And what team do you think they're going to end up on? You want to kick it off with your opinions on that?
Mine is not. I'm not going with the QB.
Okay.
Even though there's a lot of great quarterbacks, I'm not really sure which QB is going to come out the best. But I know positional player, it's Kyle Pitts all the way.
Okay.
Kyle Pitts, tight end, but he's not a tight end. He's a different breed. He can do it all.
Mm-hmm.
He can route run, he can catch, he's athletic, he's fast, he can do it all. And I think he's gonna go, I say, 4th pick to the Falcons.
Okay. All right. Nah, listen, Kyle Pitts, man, he is, like you said, he's a beast. You put on the tape, you just see it. The kid, he's a bully on the field. He's clearly the best player on the field when he's on the field. His combine or pro day, because it wasn't real combine, so his pro day numbers was crazy. The hype around him is real. The comparisons, he's getting Megatron comparisons. He's getting Julio comparisons. So the scouts like him. I definitely feel you there. And I think Kyle Pitts is set up to have a good career.
Yeah, and just think, though, when was the last time tight ends were picked top 5 in the draft?
Yeah, it doesn't really happen, honestly. When you look around the league at the best tight ends, they weren't first-round guys. You know what I'm saying? Kelsey and Kittle weren't first-round guys. So you're right. Usually tight ends don't go this high. So I think that's actually a really good pick.
Yeah.
I too am not going to go with quarterback. Quarterback is always it's just a volatile position. It's just a volatile position, and you never quite know how it's going to pan out because situation matters so much. And a quarterback might have all the talent in the world, but if you're just not in the right situation, it's hard. And when you got teams like the Jags and the Jets sitting at the top, I just don't know how good Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson will ultimately be, not because of their talent, but because of their situations.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to go with Jamar Chase. I think Kyle Pitts is a very good pick, and I think that he could ultimately make me be wrong. But the reason I'm going with Jamar Chase is just because he's just everything you want in a wide receiver. He has the build, he has the speed, he has the ability to get off the press, he has the ability to create separation, he has the ability to high point the ball, he has the ability to outrun you. Like, the kid can do everything on the field. I feel like he's gonna come out and have a OBJ type of rookie year. Like, that's the type of guy I feel like he's gonna be when he comes out this next year. And I just also feel like the reason that I'm going to edge it his way is because Atlanta is taking Kyle Pitts, but they are in a transitionary state. They're kind of trying to win now while kind of trying to rebuild. They got a whole
they even made up their mind.
Yeah, they got a whole new coaching staff. And are you all in on Matt Ryan? Are you going to take a quarterback next year? Yeah. What's your angle? And I feel like Jamar Chase is either going to end up with his college quarterback, Joe Burrow, which is automatically going to allow him to hit the ground running and just have an immediate connection, or B, he's going to end up in Miami, which is a young up-and-coming team with a proven head coach who has a clear system that is going to allow him to be the best player he could be. So that's why I would go with Jamar Chase. But honestly, I think we both had good picks. I actually kind of glad you didn't go quarterback. I was going to definitely try to come at it if you did, so I feel you on that.
Nah.
But we're gonna get into the next topic now. And we're gonna do what everybody does this time of year. You know, we gotta get our little mock draft in. We're not gonna spend all night doing the mock draft. So we only gonna do the top 12 picks. Most people do 10, we gotta do 12. As you can see, our teams is Giants,
Yes, sir.
Giants, and the Eagles over here. You feel me? So Giants pick 11, Eagles pick 12. So we're gonna run the mock draft to those two picks just so we can get to our teams. Young Bull, I think we should do a ping pong style, you know, instead of just going one at a time. So, you know, we'll say the first pick, I'll do mine first, then you go, and we'll just go back and forth like that until we get through it. All right. Yeah. All right. So with the first pick in the NFL draft, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking, obviously, Trevor Lawrence. I don't really think we got to say much about it.
I don't think I even need to put input. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. Everybody's reporting it. Everybody's saying it. So Trevor Lawrence. And, I mean, it's the right pick for them. They need a quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the draft. He's the most proven quarterback in the draft. They need a quarterback. So there's that.
Yep, agreed. And I don't even need to say no more. All right, with the second pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the Jets are selecting Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Yes, sir.
So far, we are exactly on key. And that's just honestly, if you follow any of the sports world, you follow the NFL world, those two picks have kind of been locked in for a while now. They're pretty easy to call out.
And they make the most sense.
Yeah, and they make the most sense, obviously. Both teams need quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And they got to go that way. So we'll move on. Number 3 pick. So with the third pick in the NFL draft, the San Francisco 49ers, who traded up to this pick, traded with the Dolphins for this pick. Obviously, when you're trading up this high in the draft, I have to assume you're going quarterback. And I am going to say, and I'm going to say that they're going to go Mac Jones. Me personally, I would not go Mac Jones if I was the 49ers. I would probably be going Justin Fields here. But I think that the 49ers are going to pick Mac Jones. That's why I'm saying that's the pick. And I think it has a lot to do with Kyle Shanahan. He's one of those coaches that feels like he's the smartest guy in the room, which most of the times he is. And I feel like he feels it's more important to have a quarterback that can do what he needs done in his system well than to have the most talented quarterback. And Mac Jones fits his system better than any of these other quarterbacks. He's coming from a similar system. He comes from a system where he's getting that ball out quick and letting his receivers do the work for him. And that's why I think ultimately Kyle Shanahan's going to go Mac Jones, even though Fields and maybe even Lance are probably more talented.
Yeah. I also got Mac Jones only because they made it probably well known that they're already going to take him. Mm-hmm. Justin Fields been getting a lot of controversy. I think Mac Jones, I mean, talent-wise, Fields probably it would be better. But like you said, I think Jones fits the system. He has way better decision-making. He had the highest QBR in college last year, I believe, or close to it or something like that. The only thing is, if I was the 49ers, honestly, I would have kept their 6th pick. And I would have took a wide receiver. Keep Jimmy G. You at least got him for 2 more. I know he's like he's not as good as everyone thought he was a few years ago, but 2 years, he can still make playoff run. He took you to a Super Bowl is good enough to do that. I mean, I would have gotten Jamar Chase 6th or, you know, give him a weapon instead of just kind of getting a quarterback's always kind of reset and starting over.
And you got to think about where the 49ers play. They're in the NFC West, and then you look at Kyler Murray, you look at Russell Wilson, you look at the Rams just trading for Matt Stafford. I think Kyle Shanahan felt like I have the worst quarterback in the division, and I have to do something about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mac Jones. And with the 4th pick in the 2020 draft, the Falcons, no-brainer, Kyle Pitts. If they don't take Kyle Pitts, I don't know. I heard they're thinking about going QB, getting rid of Matt Ryan, trade Julio, do all this. But I don't even know if they need to rebuild. I mean, they need like a defense, but get a quarterback and start over? Nah, Matt Ryan's good for a few more years. Take Pitts, especially if you're going to get rid of Julio. And if you don't get rid of Julio, boom, you got 2 weapons. Like, I think it's just the best pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like this is what it comes down to for the Falcons. This comes down to best player versus what our situation needs. I think as a head coach, most times when you come into a new situation, you want to get your quarterback. And I think that's kind of where Arthur Smith is kind of teetering on that line. Like, I like Matt Ryan, but I have a chance to get my guy. And also, when you're a head coach and you get a young quarterback, it buys you a little bit of extra time with the owner for you to be trash a couple years because you have a young guy. When you have a guy like Matt Ryan and you draft a guy like Kyle Pitts, now the owner's looking at you like, we should be in the playoffs this year. So that's where I think the limbo is. I think that the smart thing to do draft-wise is to take the best player available, and I do think they will take Kyle Pitts. That is my selection. But I think organizationally, for their future, the smartest move would be to take Trey Lance. You're already talking about moving Julio Jones, like you mentioned. Clearly, you're trying to transition somewhat towards youth. You have Matt Ryan. You're not going to drop him because of his contract. Trey Lance is not a quarterback that's ready to play this year, but you get him in your building, you get him trained up, you get him ready, and then you start building your team and you look at a 2 to 3 year window to try to start to compete. But ultimately, I think that when you look at Kyle Pitts, he's just way too good to say no to, and you go best player available, and I think they will take Kyle Pitts.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, so moving on to the 5th pick. So with the 5th pick in the NFL draft, the Cincinnati Bengals take Jamar Chase. I think they're going to take Jamar Chase. I think that similar to the Falcons, he's just too good of a player to say no to. Similar to the Falcons, I think organizationally, the right move would be to take Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle. I think after you watch your star quarterback go down and what you saw him do, Joe Burrow has the potential to be a top 3 to 5 quarterback, like in his future. And you want to protect that asset at all causes. And because of that, you might want to lean offensive line. But when you got your franchise quarterback begging you to take the guy, you know that he played with the guy in college, and you know the guy is bar none the best receiver in the draft. It's kind of hard to say no. And I think that's why they'll take Jamar Chase.
Yeah. I got them taking Sewell only because I don't know. I just think they're gonna do it. If I was GM, I'd probably take Chase only because I'm a Giants fan. We love to take weapons with no protection. So, but I mean, yeah, the way he got injured last year, you gotta protect him. But I don't know. I mean, either
I think that's
Chase
the smart pick. I think that I think Sewell is the smart pick. I think that.
But you want the bigger talent, like in your mind. You really want Chase because it's. But yeah, I think they're gonna go Sewell. I don't know.
Cincinnati Bengals as an organization have never been a really good organization, and the good organizations would take an offensive lineman. I don't think that they're there, and honestly, I think that they're looking more for notoriety than relevancy. Like, I don't really think they're looking so much to compete right now. But Jamar Chase is gonna get them on ESPN
and Joe Burrow, them together.
Get them a couple more primetime games.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase is gonna sell them some more jerseys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I lean that way. But I think it would be smart and show that the Bengals are starting to transition into a better team if they do end up taking Sewell.
Yeah, the only reason I really put Sewell here is because if they took Chase, I don't really know where Sewell would fall after that, because the rest of the teams after that kind of have other needs. But Sewell's good, so he'll fall somewhere. But so I guess he'll tell us because you got him somewhere else.
Right there. That's our first different pick. You have Sewell going 5. I have Jamar Chase going 5. So now our drafts might get a little interesting.
All right, with the 6th pick in the 2021 draft, Dolphins, I got them taking Jamar Chase, obviously.
Okay.
But yeah, you got to. They're going receiver. If Jamar Chase is off the board, like you say, I got them taking Devontae Smith. But I got Chase on my mock draft.
I actually have it opposite. I have them taking Sewell and moving him to right tackle. Tua is an injury-prone quarterback. I think that with Jamar Chase gone, they have the potential to take Devontae Smith or maybe even Jalen Waddle. But I do think that the Dolphins organizationally are thinking long-term. They're stockpiling draft picks. They're trying to build for the future. They know that they have the coach to do it now. And I think that they're going to start to make more organizationally smart moves. And knowing that Tua is injury prone, having already booking left tackle and then adding Sewell on the right side, which some people say Sewell has short arms and that will impede him on the left side, and he might be better suited for the right side. Mm-hmm. He's a very physical, aggressive tackle, which also suits well for the right side. So I think that the Dolphins would look at the board and say the best player here is Sewell. We could go with wide receiver, but we're going to take the best player available, and that's Sewell, and I think that's who they would take.
I think they need a wide receiver one. They don't got really.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. Devontae Parker leaves a lot to be desired. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's always injured though, so what good?
Yeah, exactly. He leaves a lot to be desired, but we'll get to more talk. I have some hot takes that might end up getting the Dolphins a receiver, but we'll just leave it at that and go ahead and move to the 7th pick. So with the 7th pick in the NFL draft, the Detroit Lions take Jalen Waddle. They lost both their top 2 receivers in this offseason. You trade for Goff, so I don't think that you're going to take a quarterback here. I think you're going to stick with Goff at least for a year or so and see what he does. You have no receivers. Tyrell Williams is your number 1 receiver right now, and he was the 3rd receiver for the Chargers last year. So you have no receivers. You need a receiver. And I just think that for the type of style of football they want to play, Jalen Waddle is more of their receiver than Devontae Smith. So that's why I picked Jalen Waddle over him. I think Devontae Smith is the better receiver, but I think for what the Lions are, they're going to prefer Jalen Waddle, the stronger, more solid receiver. And that's why I got them going there.
Well, I got the teammate. I got Devontae Smith going there.
Okay.
I know the talks, he's undersized and all this. Everyone's concerned about it, but I don't know. I just really like him over Waddle. Mm-hmm. Just think he's got lengthy arms. He can still go up and get it. He breaks tackles like a beast. He don't play like he's small.
No, he doesn't.
I see him as a generational talent. If he can.
Yeah, and the thing is, he doesn't get hurt either. Like he was healthy.
Yep. So. And that game that he had, like 200 something yards, and I know it's college, but still, bro. I don't know. I just see them. I see them starting like a little Megatron thing again. Obviously,
he's the first receiver since Desmond Howard to win the Heisman. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So that lets you know the type of season he had.
Yeah. I'm taking him. I'm taking Smith 7.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that Smith is the 2nd best receiver in the draft. I like him over Waddle. I just look at Dan Campbell and all that, bite off the kneecaps or whatever he was talking about in his press conferences. He's a real rah-rah tough guy. And I just think he's going to be a guy that goes for more physically built type of players. I think he will be a guy that'll look at size and be afraid of it. That's just why I went that way. But you go ahead with the 8th pick.
And with the 8th pick, the Panthers, they're either going.
They're a tough pick. The Panthers
they're not going quarterback.
We're not going to do this because it's too much and we're already going through this. But I think personally the Panthers will end up trading out of this pick. I don't think that they make this pick, but we're going to make it for the sake of it.
Yeah. If they stay, I mean, I think Surtain probably.
Okay.
No, it's hard. There's a lot of people that pick they can snag.
He's the best defensive player on the board.
I mean, they can use a wide receiver, but their receiving core is kind of good. They got good quarterbacks. So, I mean, is their offensive line good? They could take Slater. I'm not sure, but.
That's where I have them going. I have them going Slater. Like you said, they have Darnold and they have Bridgewater.
Yep.
Right? They have
Darnold and Teddy. Yep.
Yeah. So, you're gonna let them 2 guys battle it out. You're gonna, see what you got there. So I don't think that they would go Lance or Fields. I think that they're just gonna see what they have, and I think long term they have DJ Moore and they have Robbie Anderson. They're not there at receiver. Those aren't like top tier receivers, but those are 2 pretty good receivers, And then you have one of the best running backs in the league. So you're pretty solid as far as skill position goes.
As far as offense goes.
Yeah. I think that Surtain or Slater would be the pick here. Surtain's the best defensive player. They lost Bradbury last year to y'all, and clearly that was a bad move.
Yeah.
for them. Bradbury balled out, and they do need a corner, so I think that it'll be Surtain or Slater.
Yeah, that pick.
Who
Yeah.
is the head coach? He's an offensive guy. That's why I'm leaning Slater. Sorry. With the 9th pick in the NFL draft, the Denver Broncos run to the table with the card and select Justin Fields.
Yes.
The Broncos are extremely happy to sit here at 9, not have to trade up, and get arguably the second best quarterback in the draft. They need a quarterback. They've been swinging and missing at quarterbacks for years now, and they finally have a chance to have a kid that can come and settle in and be their guy. They got Judy, they got Sutton, they got Hamlin, they got weapons, and they got Melvin Gordon in the backfield. Justin Fields will be in a pretty good situation, and I think it's just the right pick, the right fit, and that's where he ends up.
Yep, I also got him going there. They'll be excited to get him. I don't know if he'll be excited to go there. And they never really have a quarterback like him, kind of like out of the pocket, whatever. But they got to take him. It makes sense. Yeah. They've been dying for a quarterback since Peyton.
Yep.
All right, and this is it with the 10th pick. It's crazy that the three
NFC East run.
Yeah, it's crazy that the 3 rivals get 10, 11, and 12. Like
that's because we were all trash last year. All 3 of us were hot butt cheeks, so we all got high draft picks.
All right, I got a take here. The Cowboys, if they pick, they take Caleb Farley, corner.
Okay.
But
okay.
I have the Patriots trading with them.
Okay, so you
threw trading up and snagging Trey Lance.
Okay.
That's what's gonna happen, Ted.
So ultimately, since you threw your trade out there, I'm not gonna go back and change it, but I think that the Patriots trade up to 8 and take Justin Fields.
Yeah. I mean, I was just gonna.
But no, I feel you. I do see the Patriots trying to trade up into that top 10 area.
I think Trey Lance is
5 quarterbacks.
Trey Lance is on the Patriots with Bill Belichick is nasty.
And Trey Lance will have a year to learn behind Cam Newton, a similar quarterback.
Yeah.
And Josh McDaniels is really good at developing quarterbacks. So it's a good fit. It's a good fit.
And actually, hold up. And also maybe Micah Parsons.
You already had Surtain going to the Panthers. I have Surtain going to the Cowboys. I hadn't had him taken yet. I had Slater go to the Panthers. The Cowboys secondary is abysmal.
That's why I said they're taking, because they need to get a corner.
So I got them taking Surtain. I heard you say Farley, and Farley, leading up to the draft, was considered the second best corner, but with that injury he has right now, is kind of pushing him down some people's boards.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the Cowboys will look over that or not. You see some teams do that. I think that in your scenario, if I was on your draft board, I would have them taking J.C. Horn in that case. But on my board, I got them taking Surtain right here. So we're going to go ahead and move to the 11th. I'm going to do mine first since it's your squad. I'm going to do mine first. So on my board, it's a little different from your board, but on my board with the 11th pick, I have the New York Football Giants taking Devontae Smith. He fell all the way down there. Like you said, the Giants are known for getting a whole bunch of skill position players with no protection. And I think that organizationally, the smart move for them would have been to try to take offensive lineman here, or maybe even take Micah Parsons here to help that linebacking core, because you guys have a really good secondary, but the linebacking core is weak. Could be stronger. Blake Martinez is good. I'm not trying to insult him, but on the whole, it could be stronger. Micah Parsons is a really good player. He's going to be somebody's middle linebacker for the next 10 years, in my opinion. But I think that they see Devontae Smith as a major upgrade to Slayton. And I think that they see Galladay as a guy who does have some injury history. And if you have Galladay, you have Smith, who's the best player on the board right now. You have Shepard, you have Ingram. You got a lot of options for Daniel Jones, and you've given him every reason to not fit. That's where I would go there. But it's your team. Your board's a little different than mine, so I'm very interested to see where you think your team's going.
Well, if the board happens like you and Smith is there, I'm 100% on board to take him. He's one of my favorite players. But since I had Smith going where you took Waddle, I got Waddle here, and I have Slater available. I'm have them taking one of them 2 players.
Okay.
honestly, I'm Team Waddle right now, only because I know we got Kenny G, but like I just feel like last year we lost a lot of games because of our offense. Our offense is never in sync. So it's about time we just stack it all up, load it up. But Slater, I mean, obviously I won't be mad to take Slater. We just lost Kevin Zeitler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big hit, but
and if you're gonna if I'm on your board, I'm going Slater. You have one of the best running backs in the league. You need an offensive line to open holes for him. You have a quarterback who's turnover prone that needs time to throw the ball. You already have 3 offensive wide receivers that are good. You have Galladay, you have Slayton, you have Galladay, who's your X receiver, who's gonna, do your everything. You have Slayton, who's your Z, who's your speed guy, your deep ball threat, and then you have Shepard, who can eat in the middle of the field, and that's what he does. And you have Ingram.
Yep.
I'm protecting Daniel Jones, and I'm trying to give Saquon more holes.
I get it. I don't argue it.
But like you said, the Giants, I think I got them taking Devontae Smith, so I wouldn't be surprised on your board if they took Waddle. Absolutely.
And the last time we took a offensive lineman, like 6th pick, Eric Flowers. How did this turn out? Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying Slater's gonna end up like him. It's just drafting a offensive lineman high up. It's like you got to make sure you hit.
Slater, though, here's where Slater's safe. He can play tackle or guard. So if you run him out at tackle and it doesn't work, you can push him inside, and he'll probably be able to excel there.
Yeah.
Eric Flowers because look, Eric Flowers now plays guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not athletic enough in the NFL.
He didn't play tackle. That's the difference.
Yeah, he's just not athletic enough in the NFL to be a tackle. He can't be out there on that edge by himself. Yeah, he can't do it. He needs to be in that phone booth, where it's not that much space to move.
Yeah. Also, I think Waddle's helps out a lot on kick return, punt return. I think we just need a speed guy that can dust everybody and throw deep.
He's the best returner in the country. Like, he's gonna improve whoever's returning game that he goes to.
I don't know. I just look at him as the deep threat that we need.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah. All right. So going on to your squad, 12th pick. Actually, you said his name before. The reason I didn't have the Cowboys taken was because I got the Eagles taking J.C. Horn.
Okay.
I know that your guy loves him. I know that they're probably going to snag him, and they definitely need defense. That's my
listen. With the way my board fell, all the top 3 receivers are all already gone.
Yeah.
Surtain is gone. This is a no-brainer. Run up to the podium and make the pick, J.C. Horn. I think personally, even before the Farley injury, I think personally J.C. Horn is the second best corner, and I say that like 1A, 1B. I like Surtain just a little bit more right now because I feel like Surtain is a little bit more ready right now. I feel like J.C. Horn, though, has the higher ceiling, meaning he can become the better player. But I feel like as far as putting on the pads right now and having to play game 1, Surtain is a little more polished, and that just comes with coming out of Nick Saban's system. That comes with your father being a Pro Bowl defensive back in the NFL. You're bred in it. Now, J.C. Horn also comes from the NFL pedigree. His dad is Joe Horn, and I think that's why I just like the kid. He has the Jalen Ramsey type of attitude. Like, he steps on the field, he's not scared of nobody, and he's gonna let you know he's there. He plays physical, and especially in Philly, where the media is tough, the fans are tough, you need that aggression, you need that no nonsense attitude. And I just think he's the perfect fit, especially with all the receivers gone. And then our defensive coordinator now is a former defensive backs coach. And he comes from the Mike Zimmer system. And Mike Zimmer loads up on 2 things, linebackers and cornerbacks. And right now, on my board, Parsons is there. But I just think you take, especially in the NFC East, you take the cornerback. Because when you look around the NFC East, the wide receivers are ridiculous. The Redskins got McLaurin. They got Samuel. We just talked about your team and the 3 receivers y'all have, and the potential that you could be drafting another one. And the Cowboys have Cooper, CD, and Gallup. So Darius Slay ain't enough. He's great to have, but we need more than one corner because most of these NFC East teams have more than one number 1 type receiver out there. So J.C. Horn's the pick. And that's the mock draft. We did the 12. I think we got some good analysis in. It took a little longer than I think we expected, but I think we got some good talk in. And we're just going to move it along here. Just to wrap up the draft talk, do you have any draft hot takes? Anything that you think is going to happen in the draft that might be off board or, shocking to some?
Nah, the Patriots trading up, but that ain't shocking to nobody.
Yeah, that's not really shocking. You see the Patriots doing that. So here's I'm gonna throw two at you that might not be that shocking, but I just been pondering them. I think that the Patriots very well might trade up, but I also think that the Patriots might instead trade for Jimmy Garoppolo in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
49ers. I think that somehow some type of draft pick, maybe they'll let the 49ers move up and take a pick of theirs or something like that. But I do think that Bill Belichick is still infatuated with Jimmy G, and I think that he might be blowing smoke about getting a young guy and really just trying to creep through the back door and get the guy that he really never wanted to leave. Robert Kraft chose Brady smartly over Jimmy G, but it was well documented that Belichick wanted to move on and start with Jimmy G. And I think that knowing that he's going to be available, I think Belichick's going to take his shot. And then my other little one that I think it's not so much surprising because it's been talked about, Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz gets traded in the draft. But I think he's either going to end up going to the Bills, which I don't think a lot of people were talking about, but the Bills have a late first round pick, and the Eagles might be looking to get back into the first round for a wide receiver if they go cornerback early. We have a very high second round pick, and we have 2 third round picks, so we have the ammunition to move up into the first round, and we could give the Bills our third round pick and Zach Ertz as a package. Our second round pick and Zach Ertz as a package, so they only move back to 37. We move up to 28 or 29, wherever they're at, and we would have a chance to still get a receiver that we need. So I think Zach Ertz might end up being a Buffalo Bill by the end of the draft.
Be stacked.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The Bills, that's one thing they don't have is a tight end, and they're a win-ready team, and Zach Ertz is a proven tight end.
I can see that. Definitely can see that. Yeah.
Yep.